Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Kadena. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, as you can see, we have been in this sideways channel for quite a while now. So we started here in December last year. We came up into January, had a little retracement, a nice double top pattern here, and then we pulled back down to the initial support at 91.5 cents. So we're coming back down to that support one more time. If we start zooming in, you can see that the candles are constantly closing above this level. So you could be looking at this as a nice triple bottom pattern. So you have your first bottom here, you have your second bottom, and you have your third bottom. Now, if you start losing this support trend line, obviously that is going to be negative. Immediately, we can come up and see what the potential target is going to be to the downside. The 1.618 here at 82 cents roughly is going to be your target, only if you start losing 91.5 cents. So if you start pulling back down, you have the 1.272, the 1.414, and then the 1.618 as your major target. So those are the levels that you could be targeting based off of this local high in April and this local low in March. Of course, we could also see a break to the upside and a bounce from here. That is also something that we could see of, obviously. And what we can do is we can draw a trend line here from that, as this will be our neckline. Okay. And what you can do is you can take a trend line from the top of the neckline down to the bottom of the support over here where you have all the three touches, and you place it at the point of breakout, and that is going to be your target there at $1.31. So that's something that we can be targeting only after we start breaking above this trend line. So once you start breaking above this trend line, you can start targeting the technical target here at $1.30 roughly. That's exactly where we had this move to the upside back in February and back in January. So that level seemingly is a very strong resistance point, and we can't seem to break above it and solidify above it. So hopefully we are able to do that this time around, but of course for that we have to bounce off this level and then break above the neckline to move forward. And we can also drop a fib retracement from here. Let me just assume that this is going to be our low. From here to that local high, we have the 1.618 sitting at $1.21, and the second fib level is at $1.29. So those are going to be two targets as well that you can be looking at based on the fib. You also have a resistance level here, but I think this one we sort of faked out above it twice here, but this was a major support level back in October of 2022. And as you can see, we broke below in November, and we've sort of come up to retest this level as resistance twice, right? So you have this little trading range here. You broke down, then you came back up, retested it twice, and then you came back down to retest this support 3 times. So for now, Kadena is in a very good buying opportunity. This is definitely where I would be filling my bags, because we're very close to the bottom that we printed in November, to the bottom that we printed in December, and to these local lows that we printed in the past few months. If we jump into the daily RSI, as you can see, we have a channel up pattern here, and every time you hit the upper trend line here, you tend to see a move to the downside. So for example, you bounced off the top trend line, you came back down to the bottom one, you did the same thing here, you came back down to the bottom one, and right now we failed to get up here to the upper trend line one more time, and it seems like we are on our way to retest the yellow trend line one more time. If we do that, that's going to be your ultimate buying opportunity, because based on the price action, you're going to be sitting below the trend line probably. So you're going to be retesting one of these key lows, and based on the RSI, you're going to be sitting at a very nice support level. Now you do have the support block here that's sitting between 27.67 down to 17.81, and that is going to be a nice support block for you to target. We we did see a nice bounce here in December. We also saw a nice bounce in May last year, a nice bounce in June, or sorry, that was January 2022 and July 2021. So every single time you have a move down to the support block, you tend to have an impulsive move to the upside afterwards. So if you're looking for a swing trade, you can capitalize on this opportunity. If you're looking to buy in for the long term, you can capitalize on this opportunity as well. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we are sort of in this area between a major support and a resistance trend line. So if you take a look at this structure over here, we were bouncing off these support levels constantly, and now we're coming back down, and presumably we're going to be retesting this low that we have at 83 cents. So that is a major support level that you don't want to be losing, definitely, because you want to be holding a major support. If you lose it, you're going to have more targets to the downside. For example, if we lost that level, we could be eyeballing 63 cents if we saw a major pullback, let's say, or Bitcoin had a flash crash. 63 cents is your target, your technical target. So if you were to set up buy limit orders in advance, you could just set them up slightly higher than that, right? All the way through this area. And if you have a flash crash, hopefully all of those will get filled up. But that's only if we start losing this low. So far, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening unless Bitcoin continues with this pullback. Also, we have this local resistance trend line. So we had a back test in August last year. We had a back test in January this year, in February, and one more time in April. So the next time we come up, hopefully we're going to be able to break above it, because the more times you retest a level, the weaker that level becomes. But hopefully we don't get sent back down, because obviously that is also a possibility. So you have to be ready for both outcomes. For us here on the channel, it's always better when the price gets even lower, because we're able to buy at a cheaper price and we're able to buy more coins for less money, for less fiat. Now, if we throw the fib from this swing low in November 2022 to this swing high in November 2021, you can see that our 1.618 target is going to be sitting at $164. You also have the 1.414 sitting at $84, and your minimal target is going to be the 1.272 sitting at $52 roughly. So those are going to be your major targets come the next bull market. Okay, so obviously $164 seems a bit far-fetched, so you can just be more conservative and you can target the two lower targets. But again, in crypto, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, so you have to be ready for even higher prices than this. If you're really bullish on the project and you know that the team is good, then there's no reason why it can't get to $161. Obviously, we have to look into the circulating supply and the market cap. If we jump into the weekly RSI, you can see that we have back tested this level as resistance multiple times. So 45.8 roughly is going to be your major area to break above, because this was our support back in February and March 2022. Then we broke below. We back tested as support a year later, and then we get sent back down even lower. So with this next move to the upside, what I'm hoping for is that we can break above impulsively and then come back down. You can also probably run into this resistance level here, which is going to be sitting at, there you go, at 51 on the RSI, 51.2. So if you manage to get there after you break this level, that's going to be a nice area to take some profits. But obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. You have to do your own research and you have to determine where you want to be selling. You also have another major resistance level here at 58 on the RSI. You had two major bounces over there. If we end up breaking to the upside later this summer, we could see a retest of that level and then we can come back down. That is something that usually happens when you lose a support level, right? You then come back up and retest it as resistance. Simple as that. So that's all for the weekly chart, and overall Kadena is in a very good buying opportunity from the all-time high here. We have pulled back 97%. Currently we're sitting at a 96% pullback. So this is a good spot to be averaging in if you're bullish on the project. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section, and I am going to see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.